Nadia Saber with Optv Global Headlines. Starting with the top international stories for the day. The Taliban has taken control of Afghanistan's presidential palace after President Ashraf Ghani left the country. A Taliban commander said the group will soon declare the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan from the presidential palace in Kabul. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has said that he had fled the country to prevent the bloodshed as the Taliban entered the capital. He said in a statement posted to Facebook, "The Taliban have won or are now responsible for the honor, property, and self-preservation of their countrymen." The spokesperson for the Afghan Taliban has declared that the war in the country is over, saying that it desires peaceful relations with the world. The group respected women's and minorities' rights and freedom of expression within Sharia law, spokesperson Mohammad Naeem added. Turkey and Pakistan have decided to work together to assist Afghanistan in stabilizing itself and prevent a new influx of refugees. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said alongside his Pakistan counterpart Arif Alvi said, "We will continue efforts to enable the return of stability in the region, beginning with Afghanistan." UN Secretary General Anthony Guterres urges the Taliban and all other parties to exercise utmost restraint in order to protect lives and ensure that humanitarian needs can be addressed. He was particularly concerned about the rights of the women and girls. More than 60 countries issued a joint statement saying Afghans and international citizens who want to leave Afghanistan must be allowed to depart and added that airports and border crossings must remain open, the US State Department said. It added that the Afghan people deserve to live in safety, security, and dignity. We in the international community stand ready to assist them. US forces fired in the air at Kabul's airport on Monday to prevent hundreds of civilians running onto the tarmac, a US official said. Hundreds of Afghans have jammed the airport trying to get out of the country after Taliban insurgents entered the capital. US troops are in charge at the airport, helping in the evacuation of embassy staff and other civilians. The American flag at the US Embassy in Kabul has taken down, marking a final step in the evacuation of the diplomatic compound as the Biden administration rushed another 1,000 troops into Afghanistan to manage the sudden departure of embassy personnel and other staff. As situation deteriorates, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said, "The fact of the matter is, we have seen that the force has been unable to defend the country, and that has happened more quickly than we anticipated." New York Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, who will make history as the female governor of New York, vowed to zero tolerance and to uphold integrity in her administration. "Women will feel safe. They'll know their ideas are valued," Hochul said. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau called an early election for September 20. The Prime Minister said he needed a new mandate to ensure voters approved of his Liberal government's plan to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. Colorful balloons with the slogan "Isle of Pakistan" were found in the courtyard of a person in India's Mandi district of Himachal Pradesh state. A police team took the balloons under its custody and started the investigation as to how the balloons reached there. At least 2 Palestinians were killed on Monday in clashes with Israeli forces at the Jenin refugee camp in the West Bank. Israeli border police, who operate in the occupied West Bank, said its forces were involved in clashes. Saudi air defenses intercepted and destroyed a ballistic missile launched by Yemen's al-Houthi militia towards the kingdom's territory. The missile was fired in the direction of south region of Najran, the Saudi-led coalition said. More than 24 Rohingya refugees have gone missing and feared drowned after a boat carrying them capsized in the Bay of Bengal, according to the United Nations. About 40 refugees, including women and children, were in a fishing boat which sank in bad weather. The refugees were apparently trying to flee a remote Bangladeshi island. A fuel tank blast in Lebanon early on Sunday killed 28 people and injured nearly 80. The tragedy in the remote north overwhelmed medical facilities and heaped new misery on a nation already beset by severe fuel shortages. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has allowed non-Saudis who are legal residents of the kingdom to buy single property in the kingdom. A genuine and unexpired residency ID is also required of the foreigners. At least 1,297 people have died after a powerful earthquake struck Haiti over the weekend. The 7.2 magnitude quake flattened hundreds of homes in the impoverished country. Up next, we have the national updates. Turkey has handed over a Milgem-class warship to Pakistan, which is equipped with the latest sensors and weapons. Addressing the inauguration ceremony of first Milgem ship, PNS Babar, President Dr. Arif Alvi said that the relationship between Pakistan and Turkey was a force for regional peace and stability. A delegation comprising key Afghan leaders, including Speaker Hulusi Jirga Mir Rahman Rahmani, arrives in Pakistan after Taliban takes control of Kabul to discuss mutual and regional issues. Meanwhile, the Foreign Office spokesperson said that Pakistan is closely following the situation unfolding in Afghanistan and extending assistance to facilitate visa. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan telephoned Prime Minister Imran Khan to discuss the rapidly evolving situation in Afghanistan. Mr. Khan conveyed that Pakistan was facilitating the evacuation of diplomatic personnel and staff of international organizations and others in Kabul as requested. Special permission has been given for the return of Pakistanis from Afghanistan without the mandatory negative PCR test for coronavirus. The rule will remain in effect for all direct flights between Kabul and Islamabad arriving up to August 18th. Pakistani authorities have closed Torkham border with Afghanistan after Taliban captured Jalalabad area. Security has also been tightened over the presence of Taliban on the other side of the border. Police were put on alert after some individuals were displaying Afghanistan's national flag and chanting slogans in F9 Park and other areas of Islamabad. 5 individuals were picked from different parts of the world, but no case was registered against them. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has thanked the freedom-loving people of Kashmir for observing the Indian Independence Day as Black Day. The APHC Working Vice Chairman Ghulam Ahmad Gulzar, in a statement issued in Srinagar, regretted the futile arrogance displayed by India against the popular resistance movement of Kashmir. A court in Islamabad has handed over Therapy Works owner Tahir Zahoor and 5 others 2-day-long physical custody Noor Muqaddam's murder case. The suspects were arrested and were accused of concealing evidence. Counter-terrorism department and intelligence forces have foiled major joint operation in Sibi and recovered huge cache of explosives and arms. The CTD said that the arms and explosives recovered during the operation were to be used for terrorist activities in Balochistan. Prime Minister Imran Khan launched the first phase of the single national curriculum for grades pre-1 kindergarten to grade 5. Certain key considerations includes teachings of the Holy Quran and Sirat-e-Nabi, Pakistan's constitutional framework, Quaid-e-Azam and Allama Iqbal's vision and respect for diversity in cultures and religions have been outlined for the development of the SNC. The Sindh government has rejected the single national curriculum and to implement the uniform curriculum being introduced by the federal government. Sindh Education Minister Sardar Shah said that education and curriculum are provincial matters. With the recent surge in COVID-19 cases in Islamabad and the Rawalpindi district, the capital administration decided to close Faisal Mosque in Damane Ko for visitors. Positivity in the capital was recorded at 9.2%, while that in Rawalpindi jumped to 14.5%. No single renal transplant has been carried out at the Institute of Kidney Diseases Peshawar since the retirement of lead transplant surgeon Professor Asif Malik in September 2020. The government didn't accept the repeated requests of doctors to retain, so not only the patients suffered, but the training of doctors and the government's plan to expand renal transplant services to regional hospitals was also affected. Price of petrol and high-speed diesel to remain unchanged for rest of August. The price of kerosene oil has been increased by Rs 0.81 per litre, while the price of light diesel has been increased by Rs 1.10 per litre. Up next, we have the health updates. The number of children hospitalized with COVID-19 in the United States hit a record high of just over 1,900. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, children currently make up about 2.4% of the nation's COVID-19 hospitalizations. Kids under 12 are not eligible to receive the vaccine, leaving them more vulnerable to infection from the new variants. Pakistan has registered 72 more COVID-19 deaths during the past 24 hours. The National Command and Operations Center data shows that the country's overall confirmed cases has risen to 1,102,079 after the emergence of 3,669 new infections, adding that the positivity rate of infections was recorded at 6.8%. Up next, we have the updates on science and technology. Apple has defended new child protection features that would check images uploaded to its cloud storage and on its messaging platform. The US tech giant software chief said the two new tools do not make Apple's systems and devices less secure or confidential. Hackers broke into Pakistan's largest data center run by the Federal Board of Revenue. Hackers managed to break Microsoft's Hyper-V software, bringing down all of the tax authority's official websites. This cyber attack impacted the data center's virtual environment. Up next, we have the sports updates. Samar Khan has become the first female cyclist to reach the world's second highest mountain base camp. Khan announced the good news on Instagram, confirming that she had made it to K2's base camp after a long and grueling journey. West Indies beats Pakistan by 1 wicket in first test at Sabina Park. 3 catches were missed by Pakistan to allow Kemar Roach and last man Jayden Seales to take their team to the target with a last wicket partnership of 17. Tennis star player Roger Federer will undergo further knee surgery and admitted he will be out for many months, a decision which casts more doubt on his future in the sport at the age of 40. The decision rules him out of the US Open, where he has been champion 5 times, which starts in 2 weeks' time. Up next, we have the entertainment updates. The US and Canada have a new dark sky park for stargazers to enjoy. Waterton Glacier International Peace Park is now certified as an international dark sky park. The park comprises of Waterton Lakes National Park in Canada and Glacier National Park in Montana. Pakistani actor Usman Mukhtar has expressed wish to perform comedy character in showbiz industry. In a statement, the actor said, "I'm not as serious as I look. If I get the chance to play a role in a comedy, I will do so with great enthusiasm." The video game action comedy Free Guy has topped the North American box office in its opening weekend, taking $28.4 million. The horror feature Don't Breathe 2 came in second place with $10.6 million in its first weekend, while in third place was Disney's family adventure film Jungle Cruise with $9 million. British singer and songwriter Dua Lipa has now become the most listened to artist in the world as she sets the new Guinness World Record. She has 65,632,036 monthly listeners on the music streaming platform Spotify. Up next, we have the business updates. Pakistan has become a smartphone exporter as Pakistan Telecom Authority authorization holder Innovi Telecom has begun exporting smartphones to other countries. The first consignment of 5,500 units of 4G smartphones carrying manufactured in Pakistan tag were exported to UAE. Amount at Roshan Digital just before independence crossed $2 billion mark. Tally at Roshan Digital reached $2.004 billion. That's all from this bulletin. For more updates, do stay with us and keep watching Optv Global.